At noon first, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu launches Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line for commercial operations. Nigeria Police pledges impartiality ahead gubernatorial election in Ondo State. On the foreign scene, United States judge blocks Georgia's order to count votes by hand. In sport, President Tinubu congratulates Enitan Oshodi on his election as president of African Table Tennis Federation. Now, the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially launched the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line for commercial operations. Governor Sanwo-Olu joined the train on a ride from Oyigbo Station at 20 minutes past 5 on Tuesday evening to Ikeja, accompanied by members of the State Executive Council. The managing director of the Lagos Area Metropolitan Authority, Lamata Abimbola Akinjo, and other stakeholders in the entertainment sector. Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that the red line will reduce travel time, boost productivity, and make life easier for residents of the state. The governor, who urged Lagosians to take advantage and own the infrastructure, said additional coaches for the blue and red line rails will be available next year.
And everybody has a right to protect it. It's not me protecting it. It's not Lamata, it's all of us protecting it. And so when you're in the train, it's you correcting other train users that you have a train journey. Once you leave, another person is using it. So keep the place clean, keep it safe. Leave a serene environment so that other passengers can come in and utilize it.
Passengers who joined the train from the Oyigbo station commended the Sanwo-Olu administration for the step toward ensuring an integrated intermodal transportation initiatives put in place for the benefit of residents, with assurance that 2,000 compressed natural gas buses are on the way.
It's a very nice experience. It's quite peaceful, and the train is going smoothly. Well, perhaps maybe because it's the first time and everybody is quite orderly, the officials are here. And I only hope that subsequently it is also this orderly and peaceful and smooth.
You can plan your movement, you can plan the time to take off, so you can precisely get to where you are going, so precision. So that's the beauty. No traffic, nothing, no bottleneck, no delay, and you arrive in good time at a reasonable cost.
Our correspondent Adiola Akinele reports that there are 8 stations on the corridor in Oyigbo, Yaba, Mushin, Oshodi, Ikeja, Agege, Iju, and Agbado in Ogun State, with a maximum of 6 trips at the first instance, beginning from 6 o'clock in the morning. The Lagos State government has opened the pedestrian bridge at Alakbere Estate bus stop for public use. Special advisor to the governor on infrastructure, Olufemi Daramola, said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave the directive to open the bridge based on the high premium the state government placed on the safety of lives of the people. An inspection was carried out on the bridge by a team comprising Lagos State government officials from the Office of Infrastructure, and the contractors was to determine its fitness for continued public use. Daramola urged pedestrians and commuters to see the gesture of the governor as responsive and timely.
Traffic would be better because intermittently we stop vehicles on either side of the carriageway to enable commuters cross from one side to the other. With the pedestrian bridge in place now, all they need to do is cross and traffic movement goes as it should. Oh, well, it has a couple of features that are different. The headroom has changed to allow higher articulated vehicles. It was about 5.2 meters before. It's now at 5.6 meters. It has solar panel street lights, and it has cameras to monitor it as well.
Meanwhile, pedestrians, road users, and residents in the area also applauded the state government for being proactive in always ensuring the safety of lives of citizens It will be recalled that the bridge was damaged by the impact of a container-laden truck that tried to maneuver under the bridge, bearing a load that was far beyond the provided headroom of the bridge, thereby causing a negative impact to both vehicular traffic and pedestrian users of the bridge. The quest to make good use of the high solid waste generated in Lagos State has received another boost as the state expressed readiness to partner with some Swedish organizations on how to turn both solid waste and liquid waste into energy across the metropolis. Speaking during a meeting at Alausa, Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources Tokunbo Wahab said the state would continue to pay special attention to waste management, stressing that waste is not waste but remains one of the best resources everywhere. He said waste to energy is a project that the state government is willing to embark on to move the narrative forward progressively and productively. Wahab said Lagos generates between 13 to 14,000 tons of waste per day, and the state is open to suggestions about possible productive ways to turn it into a resource and move the state forward. In a remark, the head of the delegation, representative of the Council of Sweden and the Business Promotion Officer, Sweden Embassy Abuja, Sarah Ibru, noted that the Lagos State government is known to be very proactive in all its endeavors and that the Swedish organizations are willing to collaborate with Lagos State to turn solid and liquid waste into valuable resources. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigerian police force says it will ensure that the upcoming governorship election in Ondo State is void of impartiality. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun said this at a meeting convened with Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioners of Police from all formations, zonal and state commands in Abuja. The meeting was aimed at reflecting on accomplishment, delineating future strategies and reinforcing the commitment of the force to maintaining law and order across the nation. Egbetokun laid significant emphasis on the upcoming general elections in Ondo State, scheduled for November 16, 2024. He said the police is fully committed to impartiality, professionalism, and the highest standards of conduct to safeguard democracy. The Director General, World Trade Organization, WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has expressed concern over the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO's latest figures that 733 million people are facing hunger globally. Speaking at the opening plenary of the World Food Forum in Rome, hosted by FAO, Okonjo-Iweala said FAO's latest figures showed that millions of people are facing hunger, mostly in Africa and South Asia. Okonjo-Iweala said at the current pace, the Sustainable Development Goal to end hunger and malnutrition by 2030 cannot be met as earlier predicted, adding that climate change is a growing threat to food security, affecting every aspect of food systems and exacerbating the sector's problems with water and land management. She maintained that agriculture production and consumption have continued to be distorted by trade restrictions and subsidies. In foreign news, a judge in the state of Georgia in the United States has blocked an order for ballots in November presidential election to be counted by hand. Judge Robert McBurney ruled poll workers would not have received adequate training to handle millions of ballots, adding that the last-minute change would have led to administrative chaos. The hand count mandate was passed by the pro-Trump majority on the Georgia election board last month, and the ruling was welcomed by Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Early voting has begun in Georgia, with record numbers casting their vote in the key swing state ahead of Election Day on the 5th of November. More than 328,000 people voted in person or by post on the first day of voting, which officials said more than double the previous record of 136,000 in 2020. In sport now, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Eniton Oshodi on his election as president of the African Table Tennis Federation, ATTF. Oshodi, a seasoned sport administrator, was elected at the organization's annual general meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. His election is seen as a proud strong support he garnered from African nations. President Tinubu praised Oshodi's integrity, accountability, and dedication to developing table tennis at the grassroots level, assuring him of Nigeria's continued goodwill and necessary support in his new role. As former president of the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation and executive vice president of the International Table Tennis Federation, Oshodi brings extensive leadership experience to elevate ATTF and the sport continentally. While serving as chairman of the Lagos State Table Tennis Association, Oshodi was appointed in 2011 by former Governor Babatunde Fashola as Commissioner for Youth, Sport and Social Development. And that's it on the news at noon. But just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supplied 86,000 dual furniture set to 775 public schools? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially launched the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line for commercial operations. The Nigeria Police Force said it will ensure that upcoming governorship election in Ondo State is void of impartiality. We also told you that the judge in the state of Georgia in the United States has blocked an order for ballot in November's presidential election to be counted by hand. Finally, in sport, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Eniton Oshodi on his election as president of the African Table Tennis Federation, ATTF. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adesuwa Ejoyoka. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. Up next is Lunchtime Walker with MC Eyes and Timmy Tope.